So we started a new chapter which was reproduction, and like basic intro was done. Today we are going to see an introduction for human reproductive system. Human reproductive system. First thing which I wanted to tell you, whenever you just see system word, this tells that it's a mixture. Mixture now, what mixture could be? A combination, or when these things, like if we simply say when organs combine, they make the system, right? System simply means network, a combination, a lot of things are joined, they are forming, as we studied in ninth class, like cellular structure. Atom combined, they form molecule. Molecule combined, they form this organ, like they form tissue. Then tissue combined, they form organ. Then organ combined, they form organ system, like this kind of structure. So whenever you see word system, which means organ or networking of organs called a system. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Then we are discussing, like this would be an introductory class of human reproductive system. So let's see. So first thing here, you will see that human reproductive system. In human reproductive system, you will see sexual development, not that one asexual. There was a big difference we discussed in the last video. I would suggest you to watch that first. Still, if not asexual, which means a single parent is involved, sexual means two parent involved, and formation of gametes is done here in sexual, and a lot of things like that. So when the sexual reproduction happens, they get fertilization, which means having variations, development, and these things. Then when fertilization is done, they form zygote, which is 2 and like right, sexual reproduction, then fertilization. After that we get the process of what? We get the process of gametogenesis. What this process is, it's about forming gametes. So again, these are divided into two parts. First one is spermatogenesis, and here is called as oogenesis. So you can see gametogenesis, spermatogenesis, which is about male, oogenesis, which is about female. Then comes our next step. What that step is, after gametogenesis we get gamete transfer step. This is kind of flowchart I'm making to make you understand, so that you don't feel like this chapter is quite difficult and something like that. Gamete transfer, this means they're going gamete transfer. You'll see that not gamete but the sperm, which is in male reproductive part, sperm, that is motile, so this means it can move. Whereas when we talk about the eggs, these are non-motile. Eggs are non-motile, so this means they will transfer and these all. So what you'll see here, one important point, here would be process of insemination. What this process is, this process about where male sperm goes to ovum, like goes to egg or ovum. This means the transfer of male gamete, like sperm to egg and ovum to vagina, and these all parts, like simply going to female reproductive tract, is called as insemination. So I'm sure it's clear. Then comes another step. So let's go with this color. Here comes another step, which is called as a fertilization. Fertilization, which means fusion of male and female gamete. Fusion. After the fusion, they'll form zygote, which is 2n haploid, right? Then after this, like fertilization, when male reproductive, like male sperm will go to female reproductive part, they will go in a fallopian tube. After that, fertilization will occur. I'm sure it's clear. Then comes another step. Let's go with this color now. Then we get another step, which is differentiation. Differentiation is simply when zygote undergoes division. Zygote undergoes division. It could be when, if this the one part here, it's a division, that's called as blastomere. Then we have 8 cells. When there are 8 cells, that called as morula. When we have, like, after this 8 cell, it will get double 16, then 32, then 64, and so on. So what you'll see, when we get 32 cells, that's called as blastocyst. After blastocyst, we have another step. The another step is going to be in implantation. Again, I'm repeating, this is not a detailed video, it's only an introduction, so a basic term, then we'll do in detail. Implantation, which is attachment of blastocyst, the blastocyst, which is about 32 cells, attachment of blastocyst to the innermost layer of uterus. G. So the innermost layer of uterus is called as endometrium. So innermost layer, which is endometrium. Then after that we have second last step, which is gestation, simply pregnancy, or like 9 months. Then comes the last part, which is peritoneum, if I'm not pronouncing wrong, perition or something. This simply means when it's like a time when baby is supposed to come out, like after 9 months, or delivery time. So I'm sure it's clear to you. This was a basic intro. Here we also have a book line, so let's discuss what's written there. So first thing, it's quite easy. The human reproductive system, which is a complex network of organs and tissue which work together to facilitate reproduction, which I just mentioned, that whenever you just see word the system, this already tells that it's a network of organs, tissues, and things like that. Then human beings are unisexual, which means only they have one sex in one body, or dioecious means a reproductive organ in separate individuals. Like if one person is having eggs, second will have a sperm, but like everyone have their one sperm. Then heterophrodite, this also means they have a separate sex organs, and they are either male or female. Like if they are male, having testes, and if it's a female, so they will have ovaries. In the same case, they have distinct structure functions to make the reproductive process able. So the male reproductive system, which delivers sperm, which I mentioned, and female reproductive system, that's egg. Then female reproductive system produce eggs for fertilization, and the fetal development happens during the pregnancy. So yes, I'm sure it's clear to you. The human reproductive intro is done. The next video would be about male reproductive system in details. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.